What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk, Fatima Lafano of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Lions Talk Live, the day after the big cut down day, and I think most Lions fans ended yesterday probably pleasantly surprised. We went on air somewhere around 3:30 yesterday saying, hey, we got a lot of reports, the Detroit Lions trying to make a trade for a wide receiver. It was Tim Patrick. We all get it. Hey, the trade didn't happen. But then just hours later, we were able to break some news, I think before the vast majority of the national media got to it, that Tim Patrick was going to sign a deal with the Detroit Lions. He is going to start off on the team's practice squad before working his way eventually up to the main roster. But last night, we also got some real late last night, early this morning, got some news the Detroit Lions are in negotiations with a couple of different wide receivers to bring them on. We all know that, hey, there is still currently one roster spot available. Detroit has 52 guys on the roster. They've got a spot for one more. So it does look like Brad Holmes is continuing to cook, trying to add some stuff. And there are, let's be very fair, there are a number of pretty dang good receivers available. I got to ask you this. If you're a receiver with some real abilities, do you look at the Detroit Lions and say, yeah, that's where I want to be? They're one of the front runners to go for the Super Bowl. You look at an offense that's potentially one of the best in the NFL. An argument could be made they're top five, number one, number two, number three. I'll leave that to whatever happens in the season. But it seems like an ideal setup if I want to really put up some numbers and have a breakout season if I'm one of these guys who's now on the waiver wire looking for a new home. Why is that? Well, you got Jared Goff, a stable quarterback, somebody who's been to a Super Bowl, taken two different teams to the playoffs, won playoff games with multiple teams, won division titles with multiple teams. You get it. The guy's got a bit of a resume. He's still, I think, the only quarterback in the league that can say his teams have never, even in preseason, never lost to Patrick Mahomes. Then you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery, Jameson Williams. You can't key on everybody. You can't double everybody. So if you're one of these receivers we're going to talk about today, does this become an ideal situation for you? All right, before we get into the meat of the show, though, as you guys know, a couple real quick things before we get into it. And yes, we've got a special guest, Avery from Spirit of Detroit podcast, going to join us at the bottom of the hour. If you are looking for something to read, perhaps either now or in the upcoming future, please consider going to Amazon.com and ordering Kajora book. It is a historical fictional book about Japanese and Native American cultures. So if you like maybe a little fantasy and fiction, then maybe go ahead and check this out. Also, if you enjoy it, leave a good review if you would be so kind. Outside of that, hey, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We are 2 subs away from 7,600, and we're trying to make a push for 7,700. So 102 subs away from that. If you have a half second of time, go ahead and do that. Also, free of charge. If you would, hit that like button, the thumbs up button, whatever you want to call it. Try to get every video between 200 to 300 or more thumbs up or likes. All right, first segment of the day, as you guys probably know, unless you're new to the show, is 5 headlines now. So let's get into it. All right, 5 headlines now. Let's get moving. 5 players Lions could target after roster cutdowns. This is from Athlon Sports. And they list a couple different people for the Lions to consider. One of them, wide receiver Terrence Marshall, former second-round pick out of LS of the U. And, hey, he's a big body, 6'2", roughly 200 pounds. He's got some wheels. He's got size. He's young. He's only 24 years old. Next would be wide receiver Quintez Cephas, former Detroit Lions, drafted by the team. cut about a little over a year ago because of gambling issues. And so unfortunately that has not gone well for him, but he is 6'1", 210 pounds, familiar with the franchise, familiar with the coaching staff. We'll see if perhaps that is a way they wish to go. Wide receiver Noah Brown, another receiver being cut. He's another 6'2", 225 pound guy that, hey, I think the Texans, if it wasn't for him, they might not have made the playoffs last year. They only made it by a game, and he was a big reason. He had a couple near 200-yard games down the stretch to help push them in. I was a little bit surprised by him being cut, but that also speaks to just how deep the Texans were or are at wide receiver, I guess you could say. The next one would be Allen Robinson, a little bit old, Detroit native, 6'1"-ish, 31 years old. 6'2", 210 pounds or so roughly. Is he an option? And then the last would be Aquarius Brown. Yes, I'm Ron St. Brown's brother. He is 6'5". He's been around the league, 215 pounds. That's pretty light for 6'5", by the way, 215. Is he a possibility? He did want to sign with Detroit this past offseason. It didn't happen out. The coaching staff went in a different direction. So could one of these guys be added? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next is Detroit Lions reportedly adding badly needed size veteran wide receiver depth. And this is from MLive.com. Benjamin Raven, Mr. Nevermore. And yes, he is talking about Tim Patrick. I only put this one in there just so we could bring up a screen and just what were they talking about in regards to this guy in Denver. So let me bring this up. And you can see this is from ESPN. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger on the screen for some of you guys. I didn't realize until yesterday that 50% of the viewers of the channel watch the show on TV. So those of you who don't, apologies. Hopefully it's as large as I can make it for you. But Denver Broncos note from ESPN, wide receiver Tim Patrick certainly did all he could to make the roster, but he got caught in a squeeze on the depth chart. Patrick, who was one of the most important voices in the locker room in the back-to-back 50-catch seasons in 2020 and 21, had battled back from a torn ACL that cost him the 22 season and a torn Achilles that cost him 23. He had shown throughout camp he was still a reliable, quarterback-friendly target who would fight for every ball. He had 5 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown in the preseason, but in the end, the fact that he was not a regular on special teams probably tilted the scales away from him. That and the Broncos kept 2 of their draft picks from the past April. So that seems to be like, if you're going by what ESPN's saying, what they're reporting out of Denver, Tim Patrick may be healthy. He might be ready to go and return to his former status. He's not old by any means, so we'll see what shakes out. But so far, it appears from all the information I was able to get yesterday on it or late last night, it's a team-friendly deal for the Detroit Lions. It's going to cost him a little over $1 million or so. If he doesn't pan out great, you're on to the next guy. So we'll see what shakes out with him. All right, and hey, I want to say thanks to my brother Tim for also sending me that clip from ESPN. Let's see. Detroit Lions. Detroit cuts veteran backup QB. Here is why it's a wise move. This is from IndieWire. So this is in regards to Nate Sudfeld. I'm surprised that IndieWire is covering this because really I don't think he's signed with the Indianapolis Colts anytime soon. But they do go ahead and explain some of the logic of cutting him, putting him on potentially the practice squad, and more or less having him as a pseudo coach for some of the younger quarterbacks or the younger quarterback like Hendon Hooker, and being a voice of reason for Jared Goff. Detroit Lions initial 53-man roster with analysis by the Athletic, Colton Pouncey. Hey, a good beat reporter. Guy does a great job, knows the team, Detroit Lions, well. So if you're looking for someone to give you a little bit more in-depth analysis on what it all means, go and check this out. I got to imagine everybody either last night or today has got one of these stories out there. I wanted to go in a different direction, so go ahead and check it out and come to your own analysis. See, Lions having bigger receiver is, quote, a luxury from Sports Illustrated, John Macaron. And what he's pointing out with this particular article is the Lions have come out and said they don't really need a big body wide receiver. It's just not how their offense works. It's a nice thing to have for sure, and they'll take advantage of it. So if Tim Patrick really is the real deal, I'm sure they're going to use him and Sam Laporta or whoever for some jump balls in the end zone or red zone. But it's not necessarily a need for the team. It's just not how their schematics are set up. All right, real quick before we get on to the next episode, I'm going to make this quick with the NFC North news. Just I know some of you guys asked why I put this out there. Maybe it's the coach in me. I want to know what's going on with our competition. It's not here because I'm a fan of the other teams or anything like that. It's just I want to know if there's any details us as fans can use to our unfair advantage. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the NFC North news and notes. All right, news notes. Make this real quick. Packers place A.J. Dillon on injured reserve, rule him out for the entire 2024 season. CBS Sports. I did report on that briefly yesterday, but that was really the biggest news or note for them, so I went and threw that back in today. All right, Bears cut include fullback. I'm going to kill that last name. Blast game. Quarterbacks Rippon and Reed, CBS Sports. So not big news, but I do know Rippon had fared fairly well during the preseason. And now he's on the outside looking in. Minnesota Vikings make cuts for 53-man roster deadline, including first-round pick Lewis Kine, CBS Sports. So a little bit of surprise there because if you guys don't remember him, he was one of the guys involved with the trade we made with them when we acquired Jameson Williams. And now he's already, just a couple years later, on the outside looking in. We can all say this about Brad Holmes. The vast majority of his picks have hit. Some of them have been lost in a numbers game. Eventually, the team just gets too loaded, or some guys are now starting to draft picks that is starting to get cut out. But the Minnesota Vikings, man, your first round picks not hitting, that's going to sting a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the main topic of the day, and then get ready for Spirit of Detroit podcast with Avery. So, real quick, main topic of the day. All right, so main topic of the day, like I said, got word last night, early this morning. Detroit is looking to target 2 more wide receivers, or let me rephrase that. They're talking to a couple wide receivers to acquire 1 more to round out their roster. Like we said, we've got a spot for 1 more player, and it does seem, at least initially, like the Lions are favoring another wide receiver. Get it? It's a wide receiver league. That's why you have so many teams cutting quality wide receivers. I really think Brad Holmes probably saw this coming months ago, and why they overloaded positions that most teams are struggling to have right now. You look across the NFL right now, what do you see? Teams everywhere need offensive linemen. They need secondary. They need defensive line. You go back to the last few drafts, and what do you see in the first and second round? There's such a run on wide receivers that what has happened, our teams have they're beating each other up with these receivers, because now when guys are getting cut, these guys can play, and they're pretty good, but they need guys to protect the quarterback to throw them the ball. Lions don't have that problem. Lions actually have a lot of depth. You go back for the last month, any of my 53-man roster predictions, I stayed steady to the fact that I thought the Lions were going to keep 10 offensive linemen. Why? Because they've got a lot of good young parts that need to be groomed, need to grow. But it also means whoever is going to be under center for the Detroit Lions is going to have time to throw. The Lions are going to be able to keep churning out strong offensive lines that can block, open up running lanes, and provide passing opportunities for whoever's at quarterback. Not everybody in this league is going to be able to have that luxury, but it also meant they had to keep draft picks focused on that area, not so much the wide receiver room. But now, as you guys want to know, it does sound like the Lions are going to be targeting, or trying to target, I should say. I guess it really comes down to however you want to word it. But 2 guys, and we've already mentioned them in the earlier post. One, I know you guys all like Noah Brown. A lot of people do. I sure do as well. He is someone Brad Holmes in the front office are targeting, trying to go out and get him if possible. But he's been around the league a little bit, so he doesn't have to go through waiver wires. He can just sign with whoever. I'm going to guess there's a few teams last night that got on the horn with him trying to acquire him. The other one, as we already mentioned, from the Carolina Panthers. I'm already forgetting his name. Terrence Marshall. Thank you. 24 years old, former second-round pick from LSU. Now, he, I think, does have to clear waivers, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But it does appear, at least initially, that the Lions are going to try to add one of these 2. Could totally be somebody else, but from everything I got last night, early this morning, it does sound like the Lions are trying to go in that direction for their final roster spot. it would make sense to me because now you have a gluttony of talent at the wide receiver room. You haven't had to sacrifice anything. Like I said earlier with Tim Patrick, the Lions tried to trade for him. I have no idea what they were offering. I know it was between them and the Cincinnati Bengals. For whatever reason, neither team got him via trade. My guess is Denver wanted something like a conditional 6th or maybe a 7th. Who knows? Both teams probably balked at it, knowing when Patrick, if he got cut, could choose his own destiny where he wanted to go. And that's actually what ended up coming to fruition. So good for all parties involved. I would say this, if I'm the Denver Broncos, I would have taken a conditional 7th, even if I wanted a 6th, because it's better to get something versus nothing. So I'd probably give them a thumbs down on pulling that maneuver off. All right, we got about 15 minutes until Avery gets over here from Spirit of Detroit podcast. So let's real quick get over to the Do Crew, see what you guys all have shaking and baking this morning. But I'll throw this at you guys just for the comment section. If Brad Holmes can add one of these two guys to the wide receiver room or just the team, how would you rate the wide receiver room now for Detroit? I think it'd be outstanding at that point. It might be one of the better cores in the NFL. I won't see number one, but I'd say it'd go from a big question mark a week ago to, man, we're feeling pretty dang good right now. So let's see what you guys have to say. All right, Michael, greetings, salutations, coach and Do Crew, exclamation points, Super Bowl or bust, one pride, woo, woo. And good morning to you, Michael. Jason, Tim Patrick, yes, he is in his house. So going to start on the practice squad, and then once he gets acclimated to the team, going to move on up. All right, Bo, good morning, Do Crew, 2, woo, woo, I see Super Bowl, let's go with that. All right, and good to see you, Bo. See Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy, Dan in the Woo Crew. Happy hump day. Woo, woo. Yes, it is. It is a big day indeed for Lions fans. Moonscar, good morning, Do Crew. Starting lineup, exclamation point. How's the start of your day going, guys? Let's see what everybody has to say. Jesse, good greetings and salutations, y'all. No joke, Coach D. You might be one of the hardest working dudes on YouTube. Thanks for all you do. No worries, man. You guys probably get it by now. I enjoy doing this stuff. Yesterday felt great to me. It felt like being a reporter, back at the Associated Press or the Kalamazoo Gazette or something like that. You knew it was some big news day. You were going to pull in like an 18-hour day just having to cover stuff. I enjoyed the heck out of it, man. So hopefully you guys did too. I'd say, James, good morning, Coach and Do Crew. Have a good day, y'all. Go Lions! Exclamation point back at you, James, and hopefully it is a good day for you. See, Clark, yo. What up, though, Do Crew? I'm starting to think Holmes had this all planned out from the beginning. I do too. I think he purposely this offseason constructed the roster thinking, 3 or 4, whatever you want to say, moves ahead like you would in chess. He set up other teams to give them what they need. He's now hoarding pieces that other teams need and they can't find. So I think you're spot on with that. Jason, the team of destiny is shaping up quite magically right before our eyes. Expectations have never been this high. Superdome or bust. And good morning, Jason. And I think you're spot on with that. See, Mike the Marine Gunny, Dan Thornton is amazingly dedicated. Thanks for that, guys. Thanks for that. Again, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. That's the biggest thing. Let's see, JK, Tim Patrick, first to practice squad, got until noon today to build a practice squad. Yeah, and then they'll have that all out, and they'll probably put out something formally later today, and then, I know Brad Holmes is going to do a presser about it tomorrow or something like that. All right, Eddie agrees. Salutations. So are we adding Tim Patrick and another receiver? That's what it does appear so far, unless they're going to go, curveball and add something else to that final roster spot. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Buddy, good morning, Do Crew. Back at you, buddy. Bo, always a plan with Brad. We are merely spectators. This is also true. He does a great job of things. Moonscar sounds like it, Big Eddie. With Patrick's injury history, we need one more. Plus, he only put, I'll say, 5 receivers. Yeah. And most teams do carry 6. I mean, you can get by with 5, especially with the weapons we do have. So wait and see what shakes out, but all will probably be revealed in the next 24 hours. See, Amy, good morning, Dan and Do Crew, exclamation point. I thought all changes had to be done by Tuesday. As far as cuts, yes, they did. Cuts, you do have to have them done. Surprised we are still making changes. Everyone have a great day, exclamation point. Please give a big thumbs up for Dan of the channel. Thanks for that, Amy. Thank you very much for that. Perryman, good morning, Do Crew, exclamation point. I really don't think Patrick will be OS. They kept a slot open to get him. Unless they're holding that slot for a quarterback. Yeah, my anticipation is it's going to be for a wide receiver, but we could always be surprised. buddy. Woo! And there you go, buddy. Let's see, Perryman, practice squad. Okay, practice squad. All right, there you go. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Brad Holmes might be singing, sitting back saying, quote, I love it when a plan comes together, end quote. Yeah, you might be spot on. He might be going Hannibal from the A-team. Let's see, Bo, pity the poor fool, Stephanie. Who doubts Brad, right? Yeah, at this point, you have to just assume Brad's always got a plan, and he's doing a great job with it. Let's see, Tori, what do you got? Good morning. Do we know who the other receiver options might be? Yeah, you probably heard me say it just a minute or so ago. So hopefully that caught your ears. See, John, good morning, all, and I hope all is well with everybody. Same to you, John. Hopefully it's a great day. Stephanie, Bo, right, Bo. Also, no speeding on 94 28th Street today, please. All right, we'll try to stay off the fast lane. All right, Moonscar, Kaminsky is now probably going to be put on long-term IR or done for the season. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm anticipating Tim Patrick will eat the current remaining spot. When Kaminsky gets put on the IR, that's going to open up another spot. At least by my math, I could be messing something up. Bo, I might be able to crack 10 miles per hour. Old legs, it happens, man. It happens to all of us. See, buddy, Stephanie, we will speed on your bathroom break. There you go. I like it when a plan comes together. See, John, Thunder and Lightning, I concur. France, what do you got? Good day, all. Coach, I thought you were crazy by saying the team would keep that many O-linemen. You were pretty spot on with the roster cuts. Thanks, man. You know, like I said, man, every once in a while I get something right. Stephanie, thanks for that, buddy. There you go. Moonscar, other options, Noah Brown, yeah, Terrence Marshall Jr., maybe Hakeem Butler to take a look at him. Yeah, a lot of people have been speculating about Butler because he's got massive size too, sort of like Tim Patrick. So is he a potential option? Sure. I think Noah Brown and Marshall would be my front runners, especially with Noah Brown, but see what they do. Buddy, you betcha. All right. Trey, what's good all? Question mark. Coach, what info do you have for us today? Hopefully you caught it all, Trey, because that is the info of the day. Jason, Stephanie Wilder, Bo Booth drives a red 1,300 horsepower modified mid-engine Corvette in case you wondered. There you go. Hey, good inside info. Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila loves a good woo in the morning, too. There you go. And you know what? Just for you guys, I did take her out of this morning's intro. I know some of you guys like the longer intro. Some of you guys like it shorter. Man, it's just finding something to make everybody happy. That's the tough part. But just for you guys, for Sheila. Hey, that way you got it at least. Brent, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew, Lombardi, and no bust. Oh, yeah. Perryman, Adam Scheffler is assuming something again. Grain of salt taken. Yeah, we'll just wait and see what shakes out. Let's see. Sir Graves, what do you got? Greens, salutations, coach and Duke Crew. Holmes was in the kitchen again, wondering what he might cook up today. Lions party at the Superdome coming up 100% with that. I agree. It's going to be a great season. See, Papa, good morning to all the season years. Yes, it does, man. We're, whatever it is, 10 days away from it. Let's see, Bo, JDC, shh, there you go. Moonscar, I would not be surprised to see Quentin Cephas back either. He had a little chemistry going on with Goff before his injury for like 2 games. Not a burner, put as a wide receiver 5 contested jump ball guy. Yeah, and again, he's familiar with the team, familiar with the offense, familiar with the coaching staff. I would get it. Drake, a lot of names throwing around for the Lions in the wide receiver room. Sign them by Friday so they have a week to rep with us before the Rams. Yeah, that's why I would say if you're going to add somebody, to me, time is of the essence. The more veteran they are, probably the less reps they need. But we all know the Lions are going to go today, tomorrow, and then don't hold me to this, but it sounds right in my head that they've got Friday and Saturday off. They return Sunday. And then they have walkthrough Monday before Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, really full practice. Friday's a walkthrough. Saturday, you have positional coach meetings. And then, Sunday's game day. So hopefully that's enough time for somebody to come in for a limited reps basis. See, buddy, a lot of ex-Lions got let go. Yes, they did. Bo, I'd be shocked if Brad doesn't surprise us. Yeah, that's just what he does, right? See, Drake, Rams lost their starting tight end and left tackle for a game with us. Traded their best linebacker as well. Yes, the Rams have gone through some stuff. So it's to be fair, I don't know the current status of Jonah Jackson. I know he was hurt. Maybe some of you guys know and you can throw it in the comment section. But the Rams do have a few question marks for sure. I wouldn't overlook them, though. Amy Stephanie, I am retiring from trucking. I never had one speeding ticket. No lie, 29 years. My record was more important than a single truckload. It can be done. It just takes planning. Be safe, Steph. Okay? Yeah, I know Steph's out there probably trying to catch the speeders. All right, Voltron, greetings, salutations. So what's our next move? That's what we're here to try to figure out. JK, 2 weeks to adjust before game 1. It's looking. Yes. Yeah, you got a little time. J-Mo, good morning, Duke Crew and Lions fans. Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you, J-Mo. All right, buddy, you leave early enough, then there's no need to speed. This is correct. Give yourself enough time. David, what's happening, Duke Crew? What's up with you, David? Patrick G, all right. So small. Good morning, all. Back at you. Patrick, greetings and salutations. All things are shaking and rolling at Lions headquarters. Yeah, the guys never sleep. I think we all get it. Hey, Brad Holmes and the scouting department, the coaching staff, hey, they're making this thing work pretty dang well. Buddy, Lions will be ready for the Rams. I concur. Let's see, Miles Barker, good morning, coach and crew. Was wondering what they do with that empty 53rd spot. Yeah, we'll find out in time, but they're going to do something. My anticipation today or tomorrow. I don't think it would drag on longer than that. Yes, good morning, Dan and crew. Back at you, D-Money. See, Hooker time. I love me some Hooker. Well, who doesn't love Hendon Hooker at this point? He is your number 2 quarterback. Let's see, Hooker Duke. Good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew. What's the good word, Duke Crew family? Super Bowl and no bust. One pride. I agree, Hooker Duke. And good morning, my friend. Moonscar, good morning, Mr. Bing. Buddy Kinko. Buddy, did you lose power Sunday and Monday nights? Was there a power outage in Pawpaw? Let me know. Buddy, hello, Moonscar. And no. Hookadoo, good morning, mile marker. Buddy, did you, Moonscar? John, Coach Dan, do you think will man just wide receiver? Do you think, I think right now, that's my anticipation, John, is that, yeah, we're targeting another wide receiver, but I've been totally off base before. Mr. Nico, good morning, coach and crew. Tim Patrick, as being added, makes me excited. We have one of the best offensive lines, running and receiving cores. This is our year with little to no exceptions. No, I agree. If we add one more wide receiver to this depth chart, I think the Lions are as complete a team as you'll find in the NFL. You're going to have some naysayers on some spots here and there, but I just don't see where you can easily find another team that's better. See, bus driver, good morning, Duke Crew. No power makes for a rough night of sleeping. Woo! Dan Skipper, there you go. You got to love the Skipper woo. It sounds like a couple of people are saying something to do with power, so hopefully you guys are okay. Drum, good morning, Coach. Duke Crew back from New Orleans. I'm still trying to hydrate. There were a lot of Lions fans there for some reason. Hey, Lions fans everywhere popping up like weeds, man, and hopefully you had a good time with the family there, Jerome. Welcome back. Miles Barker, good morning, Hookadoo. Dave Bing, how do you guys today? Waivers, anyone? Hey, we'll see what happens with the waiver wire. And good morning, Miles, by the way. John, Coach Dan, in your opinion, do you think the Lions are going to go more than just a wide receiver? It's possible. I'm just not sure, John, where you would find easy improvements. I mean, I don't think it's really going to be in the secondary at this point unless you're pulling off some sort of trade, what doesn't seem like a Brad Holmes thing. Linebacker room seems pretty set. Defensive line, I mean, maybe another interior defensive lineman, because right now with Broderick Martin's sideline, you let Pico go. To me, the only interior inline defensive tackle you have is DJ Reader, and he's coming back from injury. So do you want to really overwork him? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in that regard, John. Outside of that, I can't think of anything else. Let's see, Buddy. Let's see, Moonscar, excuse me. Buddy, yes, some of the sort of equipment failure, 5 hours Sunday night and 4 hours Monday night. Okay, well, hopefully you got the power back, my friend. See, Coach Rock, good morning. All the receiver room keeps getting better. Now, please stay healthy. I'll go with that. Hookadoo, Toledo got nailed. Also, bus driver. Ugh. Okay, I guess what happened to Toledo? Phil, greetings and salutations. Same to you. John, don't mind me bumbling right now. I just woke up. Hey, it happens, man. It happens. Lions Super Bowl 2024. Good morning, guys. Do you think we get another wide receiver? I do. That's my guess right now, but could be wrong. Donkey Kong Super Bowl or bust. I'll concur. And always good to see you in the chat, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong 17-0. The prophet Donkey Kong is calling it right now. Lions have an undefeated season. See, JK, can we get another wide receiver, not injured, recovering, please? And thank you. Hey, it wouldn't be a Brad Holmes pickup if it wasn't an injured guy. Ozzy, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew. Go Lions. Same to you. Kurt, what up, though, Duke Crew? What up to you, though, Man of Steel? John, you got that right, Donkey Kong? Well, correct. Let's see, Diamond, what do you got? Greetings and salutations to everyone from my vacation destination of Brolog, Florida. Okay. Well, hopefully you're having a good time down there. Angie was watching Tim P on NFL Plus. Looked good against the Packers. Hope he can stay healthy. Go Lions. Yeah, hopefully he is fully healthy. And yeah, he can help out with the wide receiver room. Buddy, Hakeem Butler, it's possible for sure, 100%. Lions Super Bowl, yes, okay. JP, and Detroit has a QB who can get the ball to you. They do. I got to imagine Detroit would be an ideal destination for a lot of veteran receivers. All right, Coach Rock, good morning, Kurt. Bus driver John Kaminsky should be placed on IR today, and that will open another spot. Yeah, that's where I think they're going to go with that. All right, Ozzy, Kurt Steele, what up, though? John, woke up this morning and got myself a beer. Hey, you got to start somewhere. All right, JK pointing up. Broski, Lions signed a one-legged wide receiver with 2 firsts and names and the Pac-12 squad. I suppose starter at defensive tackle for Reader until he's ready. Pico gets cut. He must be good at everything said. Amazing. Hey, so far I'm pretty happy with it. So, hey, we got about a minute until we get Avery on the show, so I know he's warming up in the bullpen right now. So, Don, been telling y'all Terrence Marshall for a week. I'm okay with that if they add him. I think that'd be awesome. Kurt Steele, Ozzy Osbourne, what up, though? Kurt Steele, Broski Bear, what did the Bears do? This is a great question. Jordy, Broski, laughing. All right, Don, Broski, scared to death, exclamation point. Often injured Allen and broke back Tavian, often injured Brisket. There you go. Jordy, the ultimate troll. Yeah, it could be some truth. Let's see, bus driver, Brent, Broski wouldn't be surprised if Pico is added to after Kaminsky is placed on the IR. They got that last year with Craig Reynolds. Yeah, and that's where I think they could be going with it as well. All right, you guys all know our special guests. If not, you need to check them out. So let's get them on the show. All right, he is the man, the myth, the man of many a legend. He is coming on over from Spirit of Detroit podcast. So, Avery, how you doing?
I'm good, Duke Crew. I'm good, Duke Crew. I'm here with a Pepsi. I am so happy that the Lions picked up somebody, but then they pick up the wrong person. So I know you're gonna talk about that. I know we got to talk about that. We got a one-leg receiver.
Hey, hopefully it's a good leg. So yeah. So let's start off with that then. Tim Patrick, what are your? I'm going to guess what are your thoughts, but why don't you go ahead and give the Duke Crew what are your thoughts on this signing?
He's played less games in 2 years than I have, so I think you could have got this guy off the street. I was looking forward to T. Race Marshall, a little bit of a younger guy, and I don't know why Brad Holmes want to give so many chances to guys, And I'm not talking about guys in a bad way with the injuries and stuff.
Right.
It would just be nice to, have a guy who can play today or this week or next week. It'd be nice to have some continuity there. I appreciate you for doing something, Brad Holmes. But this to me is almost like a trade. You got Josh Reynolds going over there, and then we get Tim Patrick, and that's a trade. So I count that as a trade, honestly. And we know how you are at trading for wide receivers. So I doubt the guy who drafted Amon Ra cannot scout. I doubt the guy. I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's weird to me.
So earlier in the day yesterday, I got word somewhere around 3:00, maybe it was a little bit after, a little bit before, that the Lions and Cincinnati Bengals were both trying to trade with Denver for Tim Patrick. For whatever reason, the trade didn't work out, didn't happen, and then he ultimately gets cut and then signs with Detroit. If you're Denver, why don't you take a conditional 6th round or 7th round pick or whatever it would have been, a bag of Mountain Dew or whatever, to go ahead and offload this guy that you're cutting versus just letting him walk out the door?
Well, it was probably just a race against time. They were getting so many offers and they were playing hardball, and they were smelling themselves a little bit. And then you look at Detroit. I hate to say it, Brad is going to give you a 6th round pick. He's not going to give you look a 6th round pick here versus a team like Cincinnati. A 6th round pick is a Malcolm Rodriguez. Okay, It's a strong caliber player. Okay, a 6th-round pick is Mekhi Wingo. Like a 6th-round pick is valuable to us. For other teams around the league, a 6th-round pick, no, we're not going to do that. They don't have that drafting success. I mean, the Bengals do work. They're a good team, but I think they were trying to play hardball, trying to give maybe a 5th or something. It was like, I'll just wait till the guy get cut, and that was it. So that's what I think happened. But I think the Bengals are playing hardball, and then I think it's on Tim Patrick as well. But like, he doesn't want to go to the. Come on, man. The Bengals, man. I don't even. He'll be so far on the depth chart. At least this time he can actually play. I mean, if he's available.
So let's also talk about the fact that the Lions, it would appear, are going to have or do have one more current roster spot. There is some speculation that they are going to be going after another wide receiver because, let's be fair, with cuts yesterday, there are a gluttony of pretty dang good receivers available for not just the Lions, but every NFL team. Do you think the Brad Holmes and the coaching staff in the next 24, 48 hours look to acquire one more standout wide receiver?
I hope so. I'm hoping to hear Brad talk just a little bit. He has a press conference today. We're going to see, what he says. Honestly, I was never a person that really entertained the third wide receiver talk. Now, I did it for views. Of course, that's what I'm going to do. Right. But, when you have Gibbs going to the slot, when you have Khalif, and when you see a UDFA and that beats a 6-year, 7-year veteran, I mean, I feel very confident, that the third receiver spot is just it's a formality, right? I feel very confident. You have Khalif Raymond, who's pretty much third receiver. Plus you have Gibbs going to the slot in most packages. And then you have, Montgomery can catch the ball. I think people forget that. He still can catch the ball. So I just felt like it was a formality. I did the content only because these guys are short, okay? I'm telling you right now, these guys when I look at the wide receiver core for the Detroit Lions, I call them the fun bunch because these guys are short. I got a daughter bigger than them, and my daughter's 2 years old. So, you want to get a guy with size. You want to get a guy with like some, dare I say, girth. All right. Dare I say it. You want to get a guy like that, but you want to get a guy that, can go up and catch a fade route, can catch a post route and give you something just like you had with Josh Reynolds. So I'm hoping that they bring, Shane Zylstra back, but knowing them, they're going to double down. They're going to see if they can get a big wide receiver.
If you had to go out, if I'm putting you in Brad Holmes' seat right now and say, hey, Avery, go ahead and get us another wide receiver, who are you targeting and why?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked that. If I couldn't get T-Race Marshall, I would have just threw out the house. I didn't need to cut Shane Zylstra. I really like Shane Zylstra. I really did. And I did like the guy Summers, the linebacker, Bubland. Like some of these guys that got cut were actual good players. They were dogs. You understand what I'm saying? So if I was Brad Holmes, if T-Race Marshall was there, I'd pick him up. The Tim Patrick, I mean, a guy with 2 first names, you cannot trust him. I don't know. I know a guy named Kirkpatrick. Okay, I couldn't trust him. Okay, that was back in the Army. But still, my channel's name. This guy says, "What's the name of Avery G's channel?" My channel, Spirited Detroit Podcast. But look, to be honest, to be fair to you and your question, I get a guy that's going to be a little taller, but I get a tight end. I bring in a tight end because you have Mitchell, who's done nothing for how many years? I mean, just going with 2 tight ends right now with Brock and Laporte is great, but you need Shane Zylstra to get in there and get some snaps.
Okay. So now let's review the team because obviously we're down to what we're anticipating in the next 24 hours. We'll have the team fairly finalized going into at least week 1. Could we make another addition or something? Practice squad guys, things like that, sure. But as you look over the strengths and potentially any weaknesses with the team, what would you say are some of those strengths? And if there are any weaknesses, talk about those.
Yeah. As far as weaknesses go, dare I say it, we got a young secondary. As far as weaknesses go, I would like to see how those guys are holding up. What's funny? As I was complaining. I'm an old man. Okay, I was complaining that Terrion was on social media too much. Right? He gets beat up by Malik Neighbors. They go to Giants camp. He gets beat up. He gets mossed and everything. He's off social media. The minute I see him yesterday is in social media. The minute I don't see an article or nothing. I see him in a social media. I would say these are a young group. I'm going to give them patience and time. They're a different generation of guys, but I love that rake straw. But the strongest part of the team is the depth at the defense. The depth on the defensive line. I know preseason games don't matter. The depth in the secondary. Like, this team had they looked so athletic when they went against the Pittsburgh Steelers starters. They looked amazing. Like, you have a guy like Brandon Joseph. This guy can start anywhere. Like, he's forcing fumbles, he's getting interceptions, he's doing this, that, and the third, and he's being competent back there. So God forbid anything happened to Kirby Joseph, who I love. But I trust this Brandon Joseph. I trust those linebackers. I trust the depth of this defense. Like, in Chris Smith, a guy who we don't talk about much because he was just doing everything right.
Right.
He was just doing everything right, freeing up Pascal, and Pascal was making great plays. I mean, Mekhi Becton, these guys are like, the depth is so amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you, just because, like you already said, Avery, there's so much depth. There was so much depth on this team that you're going to have guys get cut that I won't be surprised if other teams put in waiver wire claims, try to acquire them, or whatever is going to happen out. There's been a lot of depth, and that's a sign that the scouting department, at least to me, the front office, the coaching staff, all need a lot of praise because they've been able to bring these guys in, build them up. And you know what? Unfortunately, unlike 4 years ago when a lot of these cut guys would have made the team and probably stood out, maybe even started, now they're going to be potentially looking for employment elsewhere. But if you had to predict, looking into the first game and talking about the Rams real quick, if you had to predict what we're going to try to do to slow down the Rams offense with this young secondary, because like you said, they're young. A lot of them haven't played an NFL game, or more importantly, played together. You're Aaron Glenn at this point. What are you doing to stop Stafford in that offense?
Well, I got to attack that left tackle. They recently lost their left tackle for suspension. He was taking the drugs. He was taking the PEDs, I believe. So I would attack that left tackle. That's a backup left tackle. I believe a UDFA, a former UDFA, but he's going to come out there, stroll out there. And, that's the first place I attack. I line Hutchinson up on that guy every snap, and that guy gets taken advantage of. Another thing I want to do is I want to be very cognizant that their tight ends and their wide receivers, like, I want to press them at the line. I want to really force them off their routes, their timing. I want to really be in Stafford's face, but I want to knock them off their routes and their timing. Anything that's a West Coast type of pressure, anything that's a West Coast type of concept where it's a bootleg out, I want a guy in Stafford's face every play because I got 3 linebackers that can cover. I got 3 linebackers that can cover. If we can rush with 4, especially rush with the big man, DJ Reader, who I'm anxious to see, I'd be very happy. I know Curtis Steele is one of those people that's like, hey, look, we got to perform on crunch time. I'm one of them people that we gotta at least beat Matthew Stafford when the lights is on.
Right.
When the lights is on, you got to beat Matthew Stafford because that is a televised game. It's the hoopla. Those quarterbacks are forever connected. I don't want to give the league hope that the chink in the armor of Detroit is beatable. I want to knock this game right out the park, and we're more physical than them. I will say they have a great defensive line. They have a very young defensive line, but they're great. I'm telling you, they had a guy named Kobe Turner, defensive tackle, 9 sacks last year. That dude was a baller. I wanted him in the draft. we got somebody else. Anyway, but we can attack them from the left tackle spot, and we can get Stafford's face, and we have to knock them off their routes. Easy as done. We don't want them to get in a rhythm here in Detroit, in what they called Stafford's house. I seen a little article that had something called Stafford's house. That alone, would oh man.
All right, we'll go with that. So, Avery, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out to everybody where they can find you, all your content, tell you a little bit, hype yourself up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you again. And I'm sorry about being long-winded. I come on your show, I'll just be talking.
That's what you're supposed to do, though, man.
I just look. I'm not a morning person, but I made sure I got some sleep, and I had some extra coffee with my Pepsi.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I got the formula down and make sure I'm excited in the morning. On channel is Spirit of Detroit Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe there. We go over similar content. For me, I love to put film in there. I love to put thought-provoking things in there. I love to put opinion in there. Not too much, I'm not political at all, but I love for the game to be thought about a little deeper, So, if you come on my live streams later today, I'm gonna be with John Macaron. I was a big critic of his early. So we got a great debate coming up today. And then we're supposed to have Dose of Dion. So, come on my channel and then, see how you like the neighborhood. See if you want to join the channel, subscribe, and definitely come on. There's no commitment. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You just got to press subscribe. That's not a big commitment.
Yeah, I know. A bunch of guys in the chat, the Duke crew, have called me or texted me over time, just saying they've come to learn the more they watch YouTube that sometimes content creators don't always support each other. I don't like doing that kind of stuff, man. I think you do great content. I think there's a lot of people that do great content. Just need to get more word out on all of them. So anything I can do to help out you, your channel, man, by all means, let me know, because I think, again, Avery, you're pretty good at what you do, and you do a lot of good, detailed analyzation of things. So go check them out. Spirit Detroit Podcast. Avery, any parting words?
Yeah, I just want to say, Lions Talk Live, guys like you and Curtis Steele, who wake up at the crack of dawn, who do this, put the camera on, the lights, camera action right before you go to work or even during, or right before, I don't know, because I also watch your channel with the stocks and stuff. Really like that. I'm a little bit of a crypto guy, but never mind. Anyway,
it's all the same, man.
I appreciate the work you put in every day, hustling, getting the news out, getting there, doing it. I can always depend on you, especially, with my sleeping schedule. I can always depend on a Lions Talk Live, okay? On Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I can always depend on that, and I love that. I love that consistency, and I love what you do for the fan base.
Thanks for that, man. So, all right, go check them out. Avery, Spirit of Detroit Podcast. Thanks for all you've done for the country, and thanks for all you do for the Lions fandom. So we'll see you on the next one.
Hooah.
All right, we'll get back to the comment section. Jeff says wrong. All right, Dr. Detroit, Patrick needs to stay healthy. Yes, that would help his cause. Kurt Steele, loving the new road Jahmyr Gibbs jersey. Yeah, that does look pretty decent. See, Dr. Detroit, right? Sorry, Don, Dr. Detroit. But that goes for all the players. Stay healthy. Yeah, you perform better when you're on the field. See, Dr. Detroit for sure, especially Goff and Sewell. Yes, concurred. Goff goes down. It's going to be a different season. See, Jeff then goes their channel by 100%. Bo, right, Kurt, I like Avery's jersey as well. Mr. Gibbs, the electrician. There you go. Let's see, Dr. Detroit, Jeff, I am not going anywhere. Correct. All right, DM5, hit that like button, Do Crew. Yeah, we've got a little over 800 on all platforms watching, so if you can just take a half second of time, it's free of charge. Hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up button, yada, 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 you get it. See, Don Terrence Marshall would have to pass through Javier's now because he's still on rookie deal, I believe. ! So teams with worse record get to pick him up. Correct. Yeah, I think he doesn't have enough vested time to be able to pick his own destination, where some of the other wide receiver options, they could just sign sort of like Patrick yesterday with whoever they choose. See, Dimitri, we should go get the DN from the Jets. That's somebody that's been thrown out there too. So real quick on that, not to get sidetracked here, but when Avery was talking about what to do against the Rams, at least what I would do, and we'll go into this next week as we start building up for the channel, I'm going to overload that tackle as often as I can. So every snap, I'm going to switch, whatever ends over there on him, just so he's constantly having to face different ends and can't get into a rhythm. I'm also going to box overload blitz him. So what does that mean? Have two guys, interior tackle end, split out. One guy purposely jam and push the guard next to that tackle out, while the other end pushes that tackle out. Try to create a gap for somebody to blitz through. Yeah, if he's really not strong or a veteran, he's going to struggle how to negotiate handing off that end to pick up the blitzer, because usually the blitzer has a better rate at getting to the quarterback than the end. You're talking half second difference, a full second difference, but just anything I can do to overload stuff like that. Their tight end position, even though I know they do have some veteran depth, I'm also still going to make those guys make the same decisions. Do they block? Do they release? And, do they just struggle to negotiate and perform at a higher level? So, food for thoughts. All right, let's see. Great Lakes State guy, what do you got? Well, at least we won't have a heart attack on the field like Keenan Allen. There you go. Jeff, let's talk Bears. Let's not talk. Yeah, this is Lions talk. All right, let's see. Kurt, let's see. Hookadoo. Okay, Kurt. I was going to get Gibbs and Goff jersey, then I'll check out the Gibbs Road jersey. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Bo, Smurfs were pretty good back in the day. They were, man. They were. And, hey, I still remember the run and shoot offense that we had here in the late 80s, early 90s. A lot of those guys were 5'7" to 6 foot. And you know what? We tore up teams. We had some other issues, though, that kind of took away from it. All right, Thomas, because of his salary and his, quote, potential, is a reason why I won't why we got this receiver. This is what happens when you start to pay great players. You got to get cheap elsewhere. Yeah, you do. It's something that all teams face. His contract or his deal reportedly with the Detroit Lions is very team friendly. It's only a little over $1 million. I don't think any of it's guaranteed. So if Patrick doesn't pan out, the Lions really have no commitment to him. I'm going to wait to get full released defense or released details on it, though, before I make any kind of official statement. All right, Great Lakes, you guys need to understand how low risk this is. He's going to the practice squad first. Yes, correct. Dimitri, pause, bro. Okay. What's the name of Avery's G's channel? Spirit of Detroit podcast. See, Don Broski, why do people get mad? I'm on Bears pods. Okay. Dr. Detroit, Bears have a good team, and I'm not a slappy. Okay, all right. Well, I don't think you are a slappy. Jeff, I come here for Lions content. If 8 want to know about the rest of the league, I'll go to the NFL Network. All I'm saying. Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. See, Dr. Detroit, slappy, good for you. Skip the Bears, says Don. Dr. Detroit, bye. Let's see, Kurt Steele, laughing out loud. Okay, yeah, all right. Dennis, skip the Bears. Let's talk Lions, everyone. Yeah, no more Bears stuff, all right? Keep it out of the chat. Don, let's get the going. Let's get the skip the Bears, all right? Dennis, laughing out loud. See, Andre Fields, always in Brad we trust. You have to believe with that. Dimitri, Detroit, let's go, 100%. Let's see, be nice, Don. There you go. Let's see, Phil, FTB. All right, yeah, skip Tampa Bay. All right, Don, Phil, what? Question mark. Man, I'm being nice, so no dang Bears fan in the Lions chat channel. Fair enough. Skip Tampa Bay. Yes. Thanks, Broski. You are the man. Dr. Detroit, skip Tampa Bay. All right, Phil, cool. Man, we are all over Tampa Bay. All right, let's see. Hookadoo, tell that to Broski, Phil. Correct. All right, Bo. Oh, boy, here we go. Yes, indeed. Dr. Detroit, yeah, the fun is talking smack. Yeah, there is some fun in that. See, Brent laughing out loud. Phil, trash talk is part of the game for sure. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Bus driver laughing out loud. This is bringing up kindergarten memories. Hey, you gotta have good memories sometimes. Dennis, it's part and of sports, correct? Hookadoo, he has been talking Bears BS all day. Correct. All right. Let's see. Phil, Dan has a format he wants to follow. Understand, it's his show. Thank you for that. See, Don, Titans week 1. All right. We'll go with that. See, Bo, another prick on the wall. There we go. Brick on the wall, excuse me. Dimitri, Dan, 15, 1-1. I'll go with that. Thomas Broski, get your own channel and scat out of here. No, all right, skip Tampa Bay. Hookadoo. And he said, keep it out of the chat about Lions, Phil. Yes, all right. Let's see, Phil. Broski is always welcome. Brent, thank you, AG. Miles Margaret, thanks, Avery. Phil, I have a very sick family. I stepped away for a few minutes. Hey, hopefully everything's okay, Phil. Hopefully everything is A-okay. See, Don Brosi, it's welcome but nice, huh, Phil? While he rips our team and our channel. Geesh. Let's see. Hookadoo, thanks, Avery. Phil, Doc. All right, Bo, family first, Phil. Always. Not sure that's simple. See, Ken, Black and Blue division is going to be strong this year. I think an argument could easily be made, Ken, it will be the best division in all the NFL. See, Kurt, live chat today at 8 a.m. Duke Crew, roster reactions, roster reactions. There you go. So after this show, head on over to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, hang out with Kurt Steele, and get into the channel. Ads, Dr. Phil, there you go. Kurt, Boss Up. Phil, NFC North is very strong this year, even Vikings, correct. Dennis Broski is a distant cuz. He could be a distant cuz, all right? Let's see, Kurt AG is my guy. Yeah, real nice dude. Let's see, Puka Nakua on track to play week 1. Nakua and Cup, nice combo. Yes, they are. Dimitri, get back to the Do fam. We are back here. See, Bo, disclosure, Avery, thanks. Phil, I am a medic for employment. Yes, you are. See, Thomas DJ back week 1, question mark. Not sure that's a good idea. Got to make sure he's healthy and give him back game 3. Yeah, it'll be up to the coaching staff and the medical staff. They'll all have a conversation about it. I'd just say right now he's trending that way to be back. I do wonder if we're not going for wide receiver with the remaining roster spot, if it is another interior defensive tackle or a DTI, somebody who can play that nose position like a Reader or a Pico. See, Brent, NFC North is shaping up to be one of the best, if not the best division in the NFL. Lions rule, Bears rule. Oh, yeah, and I concur with that. Kurt Steele, Thomas Donner, possible. Phil, 7 days per week, baby. Yes, we are, 7 days a week. Let's see, Thomas, thanks, CS, thank you very much. Let's see, Don, Puka Nakua, and Cup, and Donald Stafford Williams all played last year. This is also true. Let's see, Anez is the same Phil on Woodward Sports? That I don't know. Stoked, not scared, fair enough. Moonscar, Don Burr, Broski Bear, you should start a collaborative trash-talking channel. The Burr and the Fur, the Bear Fur. I'd subscribe and bring some trash talking your way. There you go. Bo, if I can get it on the screen here, thought waivers through waivers, Don, spell check right. No, Tom Mitch Gibbs is not the electrician. Well, it could be. Let's see, Don Moonscar, I would kick Broski's butt. So there we go. Don, Lord Vermeer, and Harry Potter Hour with Broski Bear and Don Burt. Yes, that might be a channel. Let's see, Frank the Tank Fuzzy Bear is a fake account. He was created by the podcasters to bring controversy to the chat. Yeah, I've got nothing to do with that, man. I think Broski's good enough with just one of them, not two of them. Let's see. Shane, morning, just woke up. Hey, welcome to the show, and good morning to you. Don, Thursday, what? Question mark, Broski. Uncle Buzz, every player is one play away from being, one-legged. Correct. Yes, correct. Let's see. Moonscar laughing. Love the ideas. No moderators. There you go. Broski, Don Burr. It's what you type, the message Dan just read. Fair enough. Shane, half awake. Hey, you got to start somewhere and then get fully awake. Bo, paying attention. Motown, you got me. Thomas, smash the like. Y'all build the channel. Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, if you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button. See, Phil, Thunder and Lightning. Dimitri, what up, though, Dan? Woo! What up to you, and good morning. Don, Broski, and my show would be called Lions King and the Teddy Bear. Okay. Shane, Hulk Smash, thank you for that. Kim, what's the name of your stocks channel? It is Winners and Losers, Stocks in New York, Stocks and the Housing Market. Just to be honest, guy, full disclosures to everybody, I haven't done anything within about 2 weeks. I just been so busy with this channel, started the season and other stuff. I just haven't done it. I'll let you guys know if I get it back up and running. The problem I was running into is I get done here, 8 o'clock. I try to watch some Boss Up, Ball Out. I try to run over to the gym for 20 minutes, get the morning dew, come back, got to get prepped up because I run a Discord server where I teach people stocks and stuff. So I got to get all that stuff up and running. and it's just, then trying to get on the winners and losers show for 5-10 minutes to give everybody a morning wake up, here's what to watch for. I was just running out of time, and it was affecting my own trading. So I just decided, at least for now, until I can Scooby-Doo it and figure out something better, how to run it, maybe run it live while I'm trading or whatever, but I don't know. I'll work on it. All right, Hookadoo, welcome to the Broski Bear Show. There you go. Here's Johnny. Bears are going to the Super Bowl. Might be. Wow, what do you got? Will the Lions bring back from? I think they'll try to for the practice squad. Broski, Don Bird laughing. Let's see, Moonscar, Tampa Bay. The Bears, B Bears. Yeah, we'll go with that. Kurt Steele. See you guys in the Ball Up podcast. We'll see you momentarily. Shane just woke up literally. Hey, welcome. Well, it's all right, man. Just wake on up and be on the show. Boss Up, Dr. Detroit. Shane, what's going on? How you doing? Just getting the show rounded up here. Moonscar, B-U-B-O. Go with that. Kim, what does Martin have? Hyperextension knee or more involved? Any word? As far as I know, it's just hyperextension, but that's all I know. It could be more. Bo, Boss Who? There you go. Let's see. Dr. Detroit, you can say Bears at Boss Up 2. There you all right. Smooth call. Let's go Lions. Woo! Fold the entire league this season. Yeah, well, let's do that. Phil, timeout's coming for if it continues, guys. Bo, happy trails, y'all done and dusted. See y'all Boss Up soon. Shane, woo! Dimitri, Phil, prayers. All right. Motown, look what I started. I'm so proud. Hey, you got to take pride. See, Ryan, going to getting out of hand. Timeouts. It's like candy boys. There you go. Here's Johnny. Let's go Lions. Woo! And Miles Barker, the Lions. Correct. Ryan, anybody know if Noah Brown picked up by anybody yet? Not that I saw before I went on the air, but it could have happened, but not that I'm aware of. Brent, FTB is not Tampa Bay coach. Skip the Bears. Okay, we'll go with that. Good morning. Let's go Lions. 100%. Good morning to you too. Let's see. The Hookadoo, you missed most of the Motown. It's been at it all morning. Famous RW, green citations, everyone. Long time no see. Hey, good to see you though, my friend. As always, glad to have you back. Brett, happy trails, one pride. Motown, I refuse to call Gibbs a softie in the laughing stock. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. We can call Sudfield the electrician what works out. Don Cleone, remember when the Bears were good in the 80s? Yes, I do. Buddy, happy trails to y'all. Same to you. Shane, I'll watch the show again, boss. All right, fair enough. I'll go ahead and get out of here. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it to you guys as fast as possible. If you would be so kind, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button before you get out of here. Otherwise, take care. Have a great day. Do something kind for someone you don't know. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until